Hey everyone, it's Leah. I just wanted to jump on here because I'm getting some questions about the program, and I thought some of you may have the same questions that I'm receiving. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what this program that I'm putting out there is, why I created it, a little bit about the flow, and just kind of address some of these questions that are coming up for people. So, what the program is a 12-week group coaching program for people who are struggling, for women who are struggling with food sensitivities and digestive health challenges. So, I know all of you that are here in this group have some sort of struggle with food sensitivities, with your digestive health, and that's what I went through as well. So that's why the program was created, is because when I was going through my journey and really struggling to find the answers that I needed, I just kept going in circles and trying different things and hoping that each thing that I did would be the thing that would actually find relief and get me to where I wanted to be. And it took me a really long time to get to that point. So that's why I've created the program, is I am pulling together the steps that have helped me, and now that I've done this work with many other women and helped them to find relief, the steps that have helped them. So the system in the program has shown time and time again to help people to find relief, really take control of their food sensitivities, help them get relief from the symptoms, which is why most people show up to work with me in the first place. But then there's so many other things and so many other benefits brought into the work that we're doing together. So, let me tell you a little bit about how it's laid out. So, the program is 12 weeks. We meet weekly for live Q&A or coaching sessions, group coaching sessions, and you can ask your questions. If you're stuck somewhere, I can help you kind of work through. In addition to that, you can get questions answered there's a private community that you'll have access to. You can get questions answered there from me, get some support from other people in the group in there as well. Access to the online content of the course is lifetime. You'll have that as long as you need it. You can come back and revisit those modules. You can work through steps again. You can kind of take your time. And then the Q&As go for the 12 weeks that we're working together. Along with each module, there's a workbook for you. So it's all laid out in a very user-friendly way where you can take notes as you go through. You can create your action steps and just help you to kind of stay on track and to know exactly what it is you need to do next to move forward in the program. I also provide extra handouts. There's additional resources and links and podcasts. There's bonus videos in some of the modules as well. And we're all different, so some of us will dive deeper into certain modules and take less time in other modules. And it's just the areas where you need to really do the work. Again, I really recommend going through it in order so that you don't miss anything, because we want to lay this foundation before we start creating waves in the body with the stuff we'll do with food. And I find that once people are starting to kind of feel a little bit better, which usually occurs in that first month, they're starting to find some relief. Then we can dive more into the other things that are affecting your gut, like chronic stress, and really kind of working with building routines and practices that will support you on an ongoing basis. So it's laid out in a very intentional way, and in a way that I've seen work time and time again for people. So it's really an all-inclusive sort of program. Like, I really want you to feel supported. I want you to feel like you have a clear path to follow. I want you to feel like you are going to be able to meet the goals that you've set for yourself. And so, of course, there are people who are going to need to dive deeper into some testing and things like that afterwards. It just depends on the level of severity in your gut. For a lot of people with gut health issues, there are pathogens and microbes and things like that can be caught wreaking havoc. Reach out to me if that's something that you feel like you want to get into. I do functional lab testing and genetic testing analysis as well. And I really work with people who need to get to to that next level and then help them go through protocols to heal. So if you feel like that's where you'd like to start, that's amazing. But a lot of people, and I tell people, no matter where you are or what chronic health challenges you're dealing with, we still need to work with our food, our mindset, and our lifestyle, no matter what it is that you're dealing with. And really just the human condition requires that we all look at these things at some point, and for all of us at some point that'll come up in different ways. It's just yelling a little louder for those of us with major health challenges than it is for other people. So I'll say along the healing journey, there's just so much that comes out of it, so many benefits and so many bonuses to other parts of our life. So I want to tell you a little bit about the roadmap and the program that I've created and how I've laid it out. So it's the gut program. We start out by laying the groundwork, then we up level, and then we transform. Within that, there are 9 steps. In the first phase, the groundwork phase, really creating the vision and figuring out where it is you want to be, committing to your healing journey, and setting those goals. In the second step, we are looking at preparing your mind and body. We're really supporting your detoxification pathways, which is more important than I can emphasize. I can't put enough emphasis on how much we need to do that before we start making major changes in the gut. So important, and it's often overlooked and left out in a lot of gut protocols. The third step is setting yourself and your kitchen up for success. We're looking at meal planning, preparing foods, removing things from your kitchen that aren't working for you, or at least creating a space for you. If you have family that you aren't ready to take those foods away from, creating a space for you where you know where to go when you're hungry, if your blood sugar feels low, if you need something quick and easy. So we're really setting up the kitchen and setting yourself up for success in that step. Next, we move on to up leveling. So we're looking at really elevating your eating. This is where we start to remove things that you haven't already taken out of your diet that you feel suspicious of. And by now, we've kind of done some detective work to figure out what that is. We do some of that in those earlier steps as well. We start to remove those foods, and this is where people start to feel really so much better because they're taking out some of these foods that are really triggering their symptoms. But the idea isn't to keep them out forever. We're going to add them back in, and we want to expand your diet to be the widest variety of foods as possible with the least amount of symptoms. No symptoms is what we're really going for, that you can eat these foods without having symptoms. The next step is we're moving into really looking at stress and elevating your self-care, building sustainable stress and self-care practices and routines. And then we're looking at really listening to your body in step 6. So this is extremely important. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, it's so important to really tune in and listen to what your body needs, listen to what it's telling you. We have so much wisdom in our bodies, and it's really important that we learn to kind of not just acknowledge those symptoms, but really learn to kind of interpret what's happening. And the more you get to know your body and what it's telling you, the easier the process and the shorter the process will be. So there's a big emphasis on this in the program for sure. Then we move on to the transformation, where we're adding foods back in. That's a really exciting place to be. People are always happy to start adding those back in. With that, we work on a rescue kit, because as people are adding foods back in, there's going to be some things that some people react to. And so we want to give you a rescue kit where you know what to do when that comes up, and you can take some steps to quiet the inflammation and kind of process that out. Then we get back to a clean slate and we add things in. We continue to add more foods in. And so I'm going to help you expand your diet to the widest possible variety of healthy whole foods that you can eat, so that you know and that you can choose when you want to splurge later, and you know what serves you well, you know what doesn't serve you well. So that is the theme that we'll be working out through the whole program, is what serves you well, what doesn't serve you well, and what really builds you up and makes you feel good, because we want to take note of all those things. And I've got templates and resources for you to be able to track what's going on and to be able to move things that you're starting to tolerate more. By now, we're seeing people doing some healing and really tolerating more foods by step 7. So Then we move on to looking a little further into mindset, those limiting beliefs, negative beliefs, and really getting away from some of that negative thinking. I give you tools to reframe and work through those limiting beliefs. So it's not just acknowledging them, but what do we do about them? And then in the last step, we're working on really building a plan for maintaining your newfound optimal health and for creating what you want in your life in other areas of your life moving forward. And so we're really looking at going beyond the program. What does this look like? So it's an incredible amount of stuff to cover in 12 weeks. Totally doable. If you need more time, you can take more time on one module. I've intentionally created nine steps within 12 weeks so that you can take more time, or if life gets busy, you have a little bit of time where you're not going to feel like you're getting behind. And then we check in throughout. So there's so much support in those check-ins, and if you want to ask questions on Facebook or shoot me an email in between, we can really keep touching base and shifting to make sure it's working for you. Um, so it's a really incredible program. Again, I've seen it work with people time and time and time again, and these things, no matter where you're at, need to be addressed. So, another thing people say is, what if it doesn't work for me? But when we are looking at supporting your mind and your body holistically in this way, we're working with your food, we're working with your diet, we're working with your lifestyle, you will inevitably see some changes as you clean up your diet, as you identify what's serving you, as you learn to honor your body, as you work on self-care and stress. Like, these are the things that are preventing us from healing in this world. Our bodies are always working towards healing, and there are so many things that are keeping us from being able to do that. Like, we have so much other work to do with everything that our body's dealing with, the pathogens, the heavy metals, the inflammatory foods, toxins in our water and our air and everything around us, our furniture, our clothes. So as we start to peel these stressors back, it gives our body the space that we need to really heal. And this is such a beautiful process and such an important process, that knowing that all of us, no matter what we're dealing with, are inundated with these toxins and these chemicals and these toxic thoughts and this culture that just wants us to keep going and going and going and going. And what we can do about that is we can start looking at barriers to healing so that we can really take the steps to one by one peel those stressors back and remove that chronic stress from the body, really minimize it. And then our bodies are capable of a lot. So at some point they really are able to take over and do this incredible healing work. I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that come up for people as they're thinking about doing a program like this, because there is a level of commitment with this. And I think one of the biggest things is having confidence in the fact that you can heal, and then finding something that resonates with you. So, other things that come up for people are time and money. So, when we talk about those things, and especially in the healing space, it can cost so much to be sick. It can cost so much to try so many different things. And so when you find something that really works for you and really resonates with you, um, allocating your money towards those things. So I want to come back to the idea of not having enough time. And I want you to really think about how much time you spend being sick, how much time it takes to not feel well, to have major flare ups, how much time you spend researching and looking for things that are going to help you to find relief, how much time and energy and just resources, mental and physical resources, it takes to not feel well. And in that, I really want to encourage you that once you get past some of these things, your time is going to open up. There's going to be more space and more time for other things, for the things that you really want to put your energy into, for your loved ones, for yourself, for your hobbies, for your work. Like, really, I see those assets really increase for people as they start to feel better. Your brain clears and your body feels better. And so really thinking about that is super, super important. Um, And the other thing is that in the program, we include a piece on time management for those who want to dive into that. Those of you who are the busiest are the ones who need it the most. And I was in that place, and I still use these practices to keep me in a place where I feel like things are manageable. I have 3 kids. I'm a wife. I'm a sister. I've got things going on all levels in my life, and I really need to be able to use those practices. So I build those into the program so that people can really dive into that. We're working with so many of the components that have led to the state that you're in right now. So we're peeling those back, and we're really addressing this as addressing your body as a whole body. You are a whole person. Your mind and body are connected. All of these things work together. And stress has an immediate impact on the gut. Direct and indirectly, it affects so much about how your gut can function. And so as we're pulling these pieces together and you start to see one symptom relieve, and then people are like, oh, my skin cleared up, but my mood is better. And as we address the body as a whole and not in these separate pieces, people find so much relief, and then they get so much additional benefit from what they come into the program expecting. This program is so comprehensive, but also it's laid out so intentionally in a way that I've seen work time and time again for people that that I have so much faith and confidence that it will help so many women out there if they go through these steps. So yes, it takes commitment. Yes, there's an investment, and also like it is such an incredible process to such an incredible gift really to yourself to go through these steps and to really take this time for you. So I will post in the comments below. I'm going to put in a couple of links. I'm going to put in, if you have more questions, I'd be happy to chat with you. I'm going to put a link to my calendar so you can book a coaching call with me if you'd like to do that. And just a discovery or consult call where we can talk about what's going on with you, kind of figure out if this is a good option for you, if it feels like a good fit. I'm also going to post a link to the program so you can learn more about it, so you can see all of the different things that are offered, all of the, it'll include the online access, the in-depth videos, the coaching calls, the all the different support, the handouts and things like that. You can also see exactly who the program is designed for. And there's a lot of good information on that page. So I'll post that before as well. And then I was just thinking I also would like to post my a link to some testimonials, women who have went through these exact steps and have found amazing relief from doing this work. So I'll post those also below. And then just a reminder that right now, for the first 7 people to join, there's a huge discount. So the program will start on October 21st, next Tuesday. That'll be our first group coaching call. And you'll get access to the online content right after you sign up and do the initial intake paperwork. And yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to meet some of you, and I'm really excited that this can be offered at such an accessible rate, and really can give access to people who may not otherwise have access to this kind of a program. So reach out if you have questions. Feel free to comment below. You can send me a personal message on Facebook or at leah@leahvong.com, or check out any of the links I put in the comments. I'm really excited. This can be the turning point for so many of you. You don't have to stay stuck. Healing is totally possible no matter what you've been told. I have seen people heal from so many different debilitating gut conditions, and there are so many stories out there of people healing, and I've experienced it myself. So no matter what you've been told, like, you don't have to stay in the position that you're in, and it is totally possible to feel better.